You're live. Okay, cool. I think we're live now. Had to jump through a couple of hoops going through different browsers, but Firefox worked. Hello, everyone who sees this in the future. I don't know how many of you are staying up at 12:01 a.m., but I'm a night owl anyway, and I'm used to it. So, yeah. So, the first time in forever, I watched an episode of Monday Night Raw. Raw is as Raw is boring. Let's just put it that way. Raw is boring, isn't it? Holy crap, is it boring? Yeah, I'm not going to be making that mistake again. No, it's bad when you really just watch something illegally and you still feel like you wasted your money. Yeah, yeah, that sort of stuff. Yeah, yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Uh, I'm a teacher. I work literally double full time, and retail would pay better. I don't have TV. I haven't had TV in ages. So, you know, it's either that or nothing. Uh, I first tried Peacock, but apparently Peacock doesn't actually do live Raw. So, but heck, there's a pay-per-view every 3 weeks, so catch up with it, what you got. So yeah, CM Punk came back, and you know, not quite sure what I was expecting. Wasn't necessarily expecting that, but okay, cool, whatever. It's a thing. So here we go. It's a promo that you could easily twist to be either a babyface promo or a heel promo. That's what I got out of this. There's little hints here and there, and WWE likes to, at least now in this point in time, really do these long builds to things. So maybe they got everything planned out. I think they're in a situation where they're saying very specific things so that, it could mean this or that, depending on what way the fans go. Everything he's saying has a double meaning. So it's very utility in what it does. Was it necessarily like a great promo that everyone's going to be talking about? Is it the next pipe bomb? No. Did a lot of people sit through 3 hours of utter drivel to get to that promo? Probably. Are those people going to return next week? Probably not. But, Raw is in this. Raw is a creature of habit at this point for people, and it's not necessarily it succeeding is nothing to do with whether or not it's good. You know, when you're the new kid on the block, you need to be a 100% good all the time and get enough repetition for people to care. Collision was 100% good for about a month. And then the first fault happened. And then everyone threw it away because, oh, no, 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 no. It takes 100 good things to make up for one bad thing. And Collision never had a chance. The NWA reboot never had a chance. WWE survived because they already did the 100 good things 30 years ago. And now it's just force of habit. So that's the way it is. Is that fair? No. Is it the way it is? Yes. So, yeah, I will say this though. And somewhere out there, Jim Kettner is going to maybe see this video, who knows, then go, oh, God damn it, David, you're a CM Punk mark. Yeah, I am. I am. And why am I a CM Punk mark? Because he's real. And a lot of people will say that with wrestling. What do you want out of wrestling? I want it to be real. What does real mean to you? I mean, David, you literally danced your way in a shiny disco outfit. And then, you had an evil twin brother that, was all grunged out. What is real? Real is I can believe that person sa you know, I believe that person means what he says. I believe that person, you know, is, I believe they actually hate each other. Real to me is when someone says, even though I know the rest of this show is fake, I think those 2 people in the ring, yeah, they're cooperating with each other. They've already decided who's going over, so on and so forth. But those 2 people, I think they actually hate each other. They're not hitting each other like the other people are hitting each other. They're actually hitting each other. They actually hate each other. I don't think they like each other in real life. That's real. And that's as real as you're going to get in wrestling nowadays. Now, some people take that and go, "Oh, that means we got to go through real glass." No, no, you idiot. No, no, you don't get to throw yourself in real glass or use real razor wire or anything like that. No, that is not the solution of, "Hey, I'm going to do a tombstone for real. Let me actually drop you on your head." No, no, that's not what reality is. Okay? No. Reality, you can work reality. You can make people think you're actually hurt when you're not. I did it numerous times. I had people thinking I actually broke my arm. I've had people think I actually broke my knee. I never did. Throughout my 10-year career, I guess you'd say, as a wrestler. God, has it been 10 years? Yeah, I've been numerous, I've had numerous panic attacks from family members who were in the crowd going, oh my god, are you okay? Are you okay?" Because I tricked them and I never told them that I was going to be doing an injury angle. Scared them shitless. Yeah, so, that's real. Um, so, and really, there was nothing much on Raw that was real. Even CM Punk's promo. It's like, okay, I've heard these lines before. I've heard you say them before. And there's CM Punk dropping a pipe bomb. That's a worked shoot. He got approval for it, but it was his real feelings. Then there's we told you what to say. Now, that might be a little clue, that might be a little hint, because he did mention a wise man, told him that, to get everything out of this company, he'd need to go away and come back, and that's what he did. And, you know, there's a there's a possibility this is setting up soulless corporate CM Punk as a concept. And then, after a year or two of that, he finally breaks free from that and becomes himself again and then becomes the babyface. There's a very, very good chance they're playing off a heel CM Punk, a delusional CM Punk, disingenuous CM Punk. That's perfectly fine. It's not what I wanted. Now, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. There were a lot of times, especially in those early Collision episodes, where it's like, do I really want this? And then I don't think so. And then they'd pop up and do something that's like, okay, I never knew I wanted this, but that was good. If he's giving creative freedom to himself, you know, I trust, I think he's one of the few people I would trust with creative freedom. It's like, okay, cool. I'm pretty sure you could book and have input of how you yourself are presented. You know, that's how I would trust that. Now, is this the CM Punk of 10 years ago? No. So don't have him on a match every single week. He's going to get broken. He's going to break a leg, break an arm, break something because he's 10 years older. Same thing with Orton, who just returned. Same thing with whoever. You know, when we book things in our mind, we go with this prime vision, okay? Like, you know, go and see, I don't know, my favorite part of New Japan was always that mid-card level, the Suzuki, the Goto, the Ishii. Tell me, the last time you saw Ishii or Suzuki in in on AEW, were they the Ishii and Suzuki of Wrestle Kingdoms past? No. Age catches up with us all, and the only thing you can do is you can, you know, you can, you can hold it back as much as you want, but eventually you have to take it time and say, no. You have to work a lighter schedule. You have to do something different. You have to go into commentary. You have to go into managing. You have to go into, booking. You have to go into something else besides being the center of attention in the middle of the ring. You know, learn how to be a referee, learn how to run the lights and cue the music. You know, do something else. You only got a few short years in the ring to do what you do. You know, no one really knows who I am except for, 350 people in Delaware, you know, and that's okay. I had my fun, and after getting COVID, I wasn't the same. You know, I could do 30-minute matches. I might not have looked like I could do 30-minute matches, but I could do 30-minute matches. I had one match after I caught COVID afterwards, and it was months later. All I did was stand on the turnbuckle, eat a stunner. Stand on the turnbuckle, by the turnbuckle. Got chopped a few times in different corners, went outside, got thrown back in, ate a stunner. That was it. Total usage of me, 30 seconds. I was winded. Beyond belief, I was winded. I knew I wasn't me anymore. And I knew that was the point where I had to go and say, nope, gotta gotta get better. Gotta gotta get healthy. And it took a year more. I'm just now finally feeling like, you know what? I could probably try to do this again. Who do I do this with? I don't know. I'd have to start back from the bottom again. Because like I said, only 350 people ever knew I existed. And now I'm, 10 years older than when I started. So now you got the old man coming in, starting back over again, who's also working a double full-time job, has no time, and of course, obviously, can't do it. Oh, hi, I see I have one person now. Hi, one person. You're in the other thoughts section right now, but if you want the Cliff Notes version, uh, Raw was boring as crap. uh, CM Punk's promo was decent, and that's about it. I mean, I still am interested just because, CM Punk is like the one real person out there. I mean, and they can use that as something, but you know, really, realistically, at this point, if you're watching WWE, the pay-per-views or PLEs or whatever, that's the new weekly series. The weekly series itself is nothing but filler and placeholder for the next PLE. So, really, just a subscription to Peacock would be great. Raw is always best viewed through YouTube clips. Oh yeah, yeah, that was I discovered that today. This was the first Raw I've watched in ages. The last time I actively watched WWE was like 2016 SmackDown, which was actually quite good, like right when the brand split started and they were really trying. Like that was good. 3 hours is just too much. 3 hours is too much for a show. But yeah, no, oh, some people are gonna be going with a, "Wait, hold up, this guy's still alive?" When they get their YouTube feed popping up. I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm hoping, like, I don't know, it's 12:15 AM. Basically, at this point in time now, I'm gonna just, work on the book, work on the novel. I'm currently just going through, and I finally figured out what the issue was, what was happening, and it's an issue that was not very, how do I explain this? Because that's actually the problem I'm having, was that it's like, okay, giant concept world building, and no one understood what was going on. I realized I had to write it for a fourth grade reading level. Once I got rid of all the words that were higher than 3 syllables, all of a sudden the feedback was getting better. It's like, oh, yay, we love this. It makes more sense now. Content never changed, just the way you described the content changed. I had a Flesh Kincaid reading score of 12.6. Now I have 4.5, and I'm getting rave reviews now from my beta readers. So I'm painstakingly going through an entire 120,000 words and making it for fourth graders, because historical fiction of the Roman Empire conquering Judea in a uh, future where there was actually a industrial revolution that happened during ancient Rome. Yeah, that's a concept that's going to go well with fourth grade reading levels. Then again, as I said, I'm working 2 jobs and I'm getting paid less than retail, so you know, yay America. Seriously, if somehow ever there's like a video of me and I'm saying, "Hey guys, I'm now in Tasmania," it means I have fled and I have run far, far away, and hopefully getting paid a lot better for being a teacher in Tasmania than I am here in America. But yeah, no. Outside of that, I proposed to a little special someone over the holiday, and they said yes. So yay! Now, if I ever joke about my fiance, it's actually my fiance. I find it weird that she gets a ring and I just get nothing. Like there's no visual indication that I am engaged. I can just walk down the street. No one would know. I would have to be carrying a sign, a ticket going, "I'm engaged, I'm engaged, look at me, I'm engaged." Like, I feel like I should get a sticker or something, just like, bloop, like a smiley face. "I'm engaged. Look at the smiley face." I feel like that would be something that should happen, you know? Women get a ring. I don't know, I get a lapel pin or something. Can I just get like a Sharpie? Like a doo 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 doo, like, just draw the word engaged on my head like I'm Jared Leto, damage Joker or something, which I guess is just Seth Rollins' gimmick also, is that he's just piggybacking back 10 minutes ago when I was like, "Oh, reality." Because we all know everyone stands in three-quarter profile view to talk to someone. Because this is how I talk to the person right over here. I'm not looking at them, I'm looking at the camera and turning like this. Oh boy. If I ever look down this corner though, it's because I'm reading a chat for the one person that left one message. Ah. So yeah, that's my life right now. You know, if I somehow win the lottery, I'll start my own promotion. That sort of thing. I feel like I'd probably be a pretty good teacher of wrestling, you know, even if, because reality is even the best wrestlers are hardly ever the best teachers. So, I mean, there's very few people where it's like, I love Daniel Bryan. I think the man's amazing in the ring. He has a very bad habit of let's do everything. And then, you get broken down. Like, I went to one Ring of Honor show, and there's a match that's in my head. Adam Cole versus Hangman Page. And this was before Adam Cole left for NXT. Okay. This was before he was even in NXT. So this is what, 5, 6 years ago at this point? I saw one spot, and I remember it to this day. They did a Canadian destroyer on the outside. Like, let's pull out the mat, let's expose the concrete underneath. Canadian destroyer. Okay, this should be a stretcher angle. Man just took a pile driver on concrete. He's dead. In any real world, that man is dead. Not only did they both get up and continue this match, the person who took the destroyer got up first and made it into the ring, and the person who gave the move barely got in at the count of 9. And I'm watching the rest of the crowd in the arena because it was in the ECW arena, cheer and go, "Yay, this is awesome, this is awesome, this is awesome." In my brain, I'm going, "This is stupid. This is dumb." And unfortunately, nothing that I've seen of Hangman Page and Adam Cole since has changed my opinion of them. Yes, they have made tons of money on WWE and AEW's dime. Yes, they have way more fans than me. Yes, they are way more successful than me. Congratulations, I wish you well. You're both fucking stupid. You can do moves, but you have no brain for psychology. So, yeah, that's my opinion on that. Now, this is where everyone yells, "Oh, you're bitter. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. Whatever." Go ahead. So, yeah, realistically, I just gotta go back and get. I've been trying to get with the guys back together for a while now. Not even just for like a show, but just to go and say, "Hey, just hang out, have a board game night. Let's just watch a pay per view together. Let's just do something." Trying to get a couple of the old RCP guys back together, just for fun. It's a damn shame COVID ruined everything. Ruined the company, ruined wrestling in general, ruined a lot of stuff that never came back, or never came back as good. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, let's see, is there anything else that's happened recently in the wrestling world outside of the CM Punk stuff? Um, MJF is, injured now, got a torn whatever. What Mesopotamian god did he piss off, and how do we appease it? That man is too good to have the rug pulled out from under him every single time. I mean, seriously? Like, CM Punk gets fired or gets injured, or his tag team partner gets injured or whatever, and whatever storyline they're building to always either gets immediately aborted or just delayed forever. Like, I guess we're gonna find out the devil stuff 6 to 8 months from now? Maybe? Like, there's only so many times you can hurt a man before people give up hope. There's only so many times you can have someone start getting built, and then immediately pull the rug out from under them. Like, I know he's literally the world champion in the company. He doesn't feel like it. Like, he's he's wandering aimless again, and now he's injured. Not good. Hi, boo. So yeah, yeah, MJF is the one solid thing on AEW consistently. I hope he gets better soon. You know what? Swerve is also good, and so is Ricky Starks, and you know what? So is Juice Robinson. I know I'm naming a lot of heels. That's a problem though. No one knows how to book a babyface anymore. Like, and before someone says, no, the babyface stuff," yes, it would. Yes, it would. Babyface stuff would still get over. Yeah. Oh, yes, meow. Yes, meow. What do you want? What do you want? I'm literally live on YouTube with a grand total of one person, and and it's giving me so much serotonin. It's giving me so much happy thoughts because I have a grand total of one person watching me right now. It's so good. It's such a good info. It's such good content. Woo! Ah, see here. Anything else in the general wrestling bubble? Um, hey, I guess Adam from What Culture pulled an Adam from What Culture again. So, in case the previous comment about my board game obsession isn't a little bit of a clue. Yeah. Why is it every person that you you follow turns out to be a complete creep? Yeah, Ricky Stark should have been used so much better in the first part of the year. He had a cool program with MJF at the end of last year, and they made him tread water until Collision. Yeah, well, there's a lot of AEW has like 500 people too many, just in general. Tony Khan uh, doesn't necessarily book things based on feuds. He books them based on exhibitions, and I'm not sure if anyone here is a Tekken fan. Oh, hi, two people. We got two people now. You already missed the CM Punk talk. Now we're in the random thoughts part. I'm not sure how many people here are Tekken fans, but uh, anyone here remember the Tekken anime that popped up on Netflix? What was everyone's favorite episode? The first episode. Why? Because the first episode was all about June training Jin and June realizing that there was a storm coming and that something was going to come after for Jin and then she had to fight Ogre by herself and save Jin and get him away and just lead Ogre away so that even if something happened to her, you know it wouldn't happen to Jin. We're saving Jin from the devil inside him. Like there were actual stakes and a personal reason for this fight. Everyone loves episode 1 of this Tekken anime, and then everyone else goes, "Oh my god, the rest of the show is boring as fuck." Because now there's a guy in a a lion or a leopard mask fighting a guy with a sword, and now there's a guy with a hair like this, and now there's a guy with a whatever, and why are they all fighting? They're just fight, 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 fight. There's no reason why any of this is happening. They forgot to put story in the rest of the series. Personal issues draw money. There's a reason why June Kazama, even though she's only been in one canon Tekken game, Tekken 2, up until, the upcoming Tekken 8, there's a reason why, for 20 some odd years, people kept demanding her to return. It's because they cared about the plot. And that's always the case. What was everyone's problem with Twisted Metal 2013 or whatever, the 2012? Why is Sweet Tooth driving Mr. Grimm's car? Why is Sweet Tooth now driving Darkseid? Why is Sweet Tooth now driving Thumper? No, 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 no. These characters have individual stories. No. It was clearly the story was an afterthought, and it couldn't survive without that story. Wrestling's the same way. You know, the most heated angle I ever did was, you know, during the fan greeting where I'm handing out papers, like signing everyone's things or whatever. I always, yeah, I've literally got a drawing tablet right here. Okay, I literally drew out every single thing of like, me pinning my opponent, putting a foot on their chest, whatever. I had little caricature drawings because I'm actually quite good at character drawing. Uh, and I was just handing out papers of me. It's like, hey, here's me, signing pictures. Who wants a picture of me pinning Boris? Because, Yuri Grigori was the Russian in the group, and he had a thing of like, "Don't call me Boris. I hate that name." So of course, then the crowd would then chant Boris at him, and he legitimately hated that name. He did not want the gimmick to be Boris. So it got turned into just a thing to get heel heat and get him annoyed. But who do we want? Who wants me getting the thing of Boris? Yay, Boris! Boris this. And then we planned this out where it's like, okay, just punch me. You know, while I'm doing this, while I'm signing this out, come up, confront me, and punch me. After the show, we're just signing papers, and people were like, "Oh my god, this isn't part of the show. This is real. The, these two people actually hate each other." Probably the most heat I ever got, or in a in a wrestling ring, and it didn't even involve a wrestling ring or a match. It was just something that happened after the show. We planned it, but it was nice. Um, then again, I always felt like I was kind of the utility guy. You know, I never really had much story anything in any of my matches. What am I doing this week? I don't know yet, David. I don't know. Okay. Hey, the show's tomorrow. What am I doing? Whatever. Hey, we're doing promo day. Who am I facing? What match am I in? I can give a promo. Just let me know who I'm facing. So most of my promos are just utter gibberish. Talking myself up and nothing else. There's like two promos you'll find of me online, and one of them is absolutely horrendous. And I will say, I mean, we're talking, you know, fake crying, over exaggerated, over the top. It is utter garbage. Why? Because it was take like 87 because the other person didn't know their lines. And here's the thing about lines. I didn't have any goddamn lines. Put me in front of a camera and I talked. It's like, I don't know who I'm facing. You know what? No, no, actually, no. I did have a thought process because I remember this was the broken arm angle. My idea was that, okay, yeah, you broke my arm, and I should have seen it coming. I should have keeping my voice down because it's 12:30 and I don't want to wake anyone up. But point being, the overall arcing theme of it was, you know, I don't even blame you. I should have seen it coming. I know you, Brian Prophet. I know the type of man you are. That's my fault for not being aware. But a broken arm will heal, and next time, I don't know when, because I'm a patient person. But I've got movement back in this arm already. You know, a broken bone heals, but I'll be coming after you. Someday, somehow, me and you are going to meet in the ring again, and this time I'll be ready. And that was the general gist of it. You know, basically my thought process was that I was going to pitch a submission match, specifically with only the arm submission because he broke my arm, and I want to get revenge by not breaking his arm, but I want to make him tap. Disco Dave never really had a submission, but if we had an arm match, just both people going after the arm, doing arm submissions, doing arm holds, doing arm ringers, the whole here's grab my arm and go over and drop it on top of the top rope, that sort of stuff. An entire match with just arm stuff. That was going to be my idea. That was going to be my pitch that I was going to make at some point in time. And then Dex, who had literally written his lines on index cards, couldn't fucking remember a single goddamn one of them. So I hit a decent promo, had some anger, had some fire, whatever. And then everyone has to cut right afterwards because Dex then stutters. So now we got to do it again because we can't just put a cut. We can't just cut to a graphic or cut to an overlay of what happened last time. It's got to be one take. God fucking damn it. So I give my lines again. A little bit more angry, a little bit more fury, a little bit more whatever. Then Dex doesn't get his lines again. And we're sitting here for 3 hours on promo day. By the end of this, I am just going. You know how you start at a certain level, and then you keep going there, and then keep going there, and then keep going there. By the end, I'm all the way up here. I am just nowhere fucking close to reality, and it's just a mess. It is an absolute mess. Uh, I wanna say it's the 4th and final episode of Project R on Right Coast Pro, and it's literally an episode about 2 nerds at this point where it's, because we had the 2 different nerd characters throughout the years. We had Dexter Boykins and we had, Kip Stevens? His chant was "Kip, Kip, hooray." What was his name? Because now my brain is just going Kip Sabian, and that's the wrong Kip. But point being, it's utterly terrible. Dex is still completely monotone and just gives his lines, but he remembered his lines, and I'm in crying hysterics because I've gone more and more emotion every single time, and it was crap. The fact that really the only things on the internet of me from wrestling is that promo and admittedly a pretty decent 8-man ladder match, which was literally like my third match ever. So I was green as grass, and I was hiding inside a gimmick match, and that's basically the only thing that you see of me. So anytime I talk about any of the things I did and how good I was, you can go on YouTube and see absolutely none of the good stuff. You'll see the shit because that's how YouTube works. That's how that's how social media works. Hey, terrible content, upvote it. Bring it up to your feed. Put it in the algorithm. Good stuff, actually well-rehearsed stuff, well-researched stuff, stuff that requires, actual double-blind studies and whatnot. Oh, no, 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 no. A random person that clicked go live on their computer. That's the thing we're looking at. By one person. Maybe they went to go see the shitty promo. But yeah, no, that was ah, got a few funny wrestling stories, but they normally just involve me having, terrible decision of agreeing with someone and then, getting hurt. Because like, someone says, "Oh, I'm gonna give you a cutter. Do you want me to go on my knees or do you want me to go flat out?" Because there's a difference. When you say you're gonna give someone a cutter, some people go to their butt on a cutter. Some people go flat on their back on a cutter. Got to make sure I get the right cutter. "Oh, I want you to go flat out." I go flat out. The man lands on his butt because he gets scared and thinks he's going to clip the ropes. So he lands on his butt. I land flat. I jack up in a like essentially a up dog position or a cobra position or whatever. Jaw going right into the man's shoulder and pain. Stuff like that. I had a decent run. Yes, yes, I know. You're such a good girl. Until you're not, and then you swat at my hand because you're a psychopath. I know. I know. But then again, I feel every wrestler has these stories, It's like there's nothing really impressive, there's nothing really important. Yeah, it's stuff that happens. My favorite moments though were really towards the end of my career, I guess I'd say. Where I was that utility guy. I was the person that, hey, something's not getting over, throw David in it, you know, because I could get a reaction out of the crowd. I could save a terrible segment in the ring. You know, there were numerous times, not to toot my own horn, but I'm tooting my own horn here, where not even anything really big. It's just, hey, the match was going south, and then you ran in and did an interference, and the crowd loved it because, you saved the match. You stopped the interference from happening. You know, hey, this person isn't getting over. We need you to just, do the selling and then hot tag them. I was the guy that helped out. I quite liked that. I liked the fact that, people trusted me to help them out. My favorite match I ever did, honestly, was a blindfold match. I took a grand total of like one bump. Every single person took a grand total of one bump. So, that is what it is. Yes, you're such a good girl. I gave you food. I gave you water. There's nothing else I need to give you. There's nothing else I need. This isn't even my cat. Yeah. She is the fiance's cat. She just decided she lives up here because she hates her sister. Oh, there we go. Yes, you're such a good kitty cat. Ah, well, I've rambled long enough. Time to go back on the book and actually start editing some stuff down. God, what's my current word count? About 30,000 words. I'm about one fourth done the book. Now, at this point, in this current draft, realized probably that my original story idea with the way I'm having to spread it out into fourth grade reading level, that's going to be, it's much more difficult to explain something at a fourth grade reading level because for complex concepts, you have to use a lot more words. When there's one word that specifically means one thing and only one thing, you can use that one word to describe the concept. You know, Schadenfreude is one word and has a very specific meaning. But if someone doesn't know what Schadenfreude means, then you now have to explain it. And the definition of Schadenfreude is 20 different words. Oh, now two people show up. Now two people show up. Okay. uh, Point being is that I need to get back to work because it's now late at night. There's no distractions except for the cat, and I need to actually get this. I need to actually get this done because I'm teaching 8 classes now. Come the spring, I'm teaching one. Oh, Uh, did CM Punk rib LA Knight when he got the crowd to chant his name at the end? I don't think there was a rib on LA Knight. I don't know. Maybe they're going to have a CM Punk LA Knight match, and that in that sort of theory, I don't know why you do that unless Punk is heel because one of the people has to win. You don't want to run yourself into an issue where, oh, hey, this match would be great. Let's have the two undefeated people fight each other. Problem now, one person's not going to be undefeated, or you're going to have a complete bullshit finish. So either people are unhappy, or you've just damaged someone. So I don't think LA Knight versus CM Punk would be something I would do. Unless CM Punk is, solidly heel at that point, in which case, you can then have, CM Punk can continue to get heat even if even if he loses. But actually, that is a good question though. Mania. What would be a Mania card here? Oh, let me think for a moment, because this is probably the first time in a while Mania actually has a pretty solid build, or at least seems to have a pretty solid build, all like before the Rumble. Like we generally know we generally know what's going to happen, and it's building towards a lot of different things. Now, personally, I would like my WrestleMania to be one night, 4 hours. None of these 8-hour shows, none of these 2-day shows. I don't even like Wrestle Kingdom going 2 days because it just gave them an excuse to put 27 matches on the card. So let's just assume WrestleMania was one day, 4 hours, like it was in the 90s. Okay. I know. My solution to everything is, hey, go back to 25 years ago. Go back to 30 years ago. I know. Wrestling is consistently behind the times. Yeah, I'm aware of the hypocrisy. Um, you're probably gonna get uh, Roman versus Cody. That's probably where they're going with that. You're probably getting CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. I think they were pretty obvious about that. You're gonna get Jimmy versus Jay. They were pretty obvious about that. Um, there's going to be something involving the implosion of either Damage Control and or Judgment Day. I'll just put Judgment Day in there. I think having two faction implosions right before is kind of lame. I know there was that one WrestleMania where there was like two people that got the surprise. I got a giant as my, you know, person, and it's okay. You did the same gimmick twice in two matches. Okay, fine. But realistically speaking, you got that. Um, you've got probably Rey Mysterio coming back to get revenge on Santos Escobar. Okay, that's a. You've got LA Knight hopefully winning a mid card title. Maybe taking Logan Paul. That would be a good crowning achievement for that. You've got Rhea Ripley and whatever the women's title is. That's 7 matches right there, realistically speaking. Gunther, yes, I forgot Gunther. How did I forget Gunther? You have Gunther. I'm assuming someone would defeat him finally at WrestleMania. That's 8 matches right there. That would literally be probably a god tier WrestleMania, just in that alone. Stretching this out to 2 nights, I feel is silly and would just dilute it. But I know more money, it's never going to go away. Much like how Raw is 3 hours, it's never going to go away because money. So, what else is there? Oh my God, that's right. There's whatever's going on with Drew McIntyre and whoever he's going to fight. Maybe Sami Zayn, who knows? Hell with it, Kenny Omega at the Rumble. you know, I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. The Elite are kind of a yes, Kitty. Yes, 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 Blue. I know. Uh, Kenny Omega is he doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. WWE won't let Kenny be Kenny, and I don't even hate Kenny. Like you know, I mean, I may jokingly call him Twinkle Toes. That's just because that name is funny as hell. But no, Kenny, I don't mind Kenny. The problem is that, like I said 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, when we all say, hey, man, I would love to see Hiroki Goto versus so and so, so on and so forth. I'm thinking about Hiroki Goto from 2007. You know, I'm thinking of, you know, prime Tanahashi. I'm thinking, 10 years ago, Ishii. Kenny is not the Kenny of 5 years ago. He's not even the Kenny of 2 years ago. Those the his style has caught up with him. He goes into the Rumble, okay, congratulations, gets a full-time schedule, congratulations, and then within a month he's gonna be broken on the injury list. That's just the way it is. You know? It's not gonna happen. Same thing with the Young Bucks, but for completely opposite reasons. Osprey laughy emoji. Yeah, same thing. I mean, and then again, I'm not really even necessarily a fan of Osprey to begin with. Just like, okay, you can do flips. Okay, yeah, but none of it looks real. Why would I turn around, do like a run on the opposite direction of my opponent while my opponent is still standing and looking at me? I've got long hair. If I turn around and try to run in the opposite direction, grab my hair and I'm taking a back bump. That's how that works. If I don't have long hair, grab a shirt. I'm doing a back bump. You don't have a shirt on? Okay, fine. Grab my arm, spin me around, and punch me in the face. you know, there's no way any of these moves would actually work in a real fight. And which, once again, everyone, what does realism mean in wrestling? Like Zack Saber Jr. is a gangly looking man, but that's but twist the hand, do this, bend it, whatever, do the little. Well, I can't make the sound. Well, I'm wearing a shirt, so I can't make the sound, but screw it. You know, I believe he could, snap your fingers and break your arms and whatnot, even though he's a gangly, skinny looking guy. because everything he does makes sense. Well, that alley, that next alley, I don't know. I don't know what you mean by, well, that next alley. Okay. I have no idea what that means. The next alley. Don't know. Don't know, but whatever. I'm certain that this is one of those things where YouTube is, texting in 60-second delay or whatever, but yeah, no. No idea what that meant. Don't understand, but that's okay. But at least it has a heart emoji next to it. So yay, love you too. Love you, Rudy Charles Charles. Rudy R. Charles Charles. So yeah. Um oh, yeah, another thing about it. Who in God, and I haven't watched New Japan in ages either. So I don't even know who their current people are. NXT Alley to have that type of style. That's NXT Alley to have that type of style. Oh, that's okay. Autocorrect. NXT style. Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of NXT. I'll be perfectly honest, I'm not a fan of most modern day wrestling. I'm not. I grew up in the wrong era, man. If it was the 1970s in wrestling, I would be so hyped. I'm just not a fan of the today style. It's like, yeah, it's more athletic. Can I do a triple, quadruple corkscrew flip off the top rope? Like you to see me? Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to do that. Hell no, I'm not going to do that. Is it impressive? Sure. Does it look like a believable fight? Hell no. I mean, I can appreciate video games for, being video games. I can appreciate stupidity for the sake of stupidity. Like, I unironically love Sharktopus. Why? Because I like stupid shark movies. I love stupid shark movies. I was upset at The Meg 2. Why? Because it had more to do with an espionage plot underwater than it did about a giant killer shark. I wanted more stupid shark movie. But I can also appreciate the fact that it's not Jaws. You know, there's Jaws, and then there's the shit I like. But Jaws is actually trying. Stupid shark movie is not. Okay, well, it's trying, but it's trying in a completely different style. You know, and that's okay. And we've reached a point. I'm going to use Tekken again as a parallel. I'm going to use Tekken again as a parallel. Tekken used to make sense. Okay, back in the 90s. Okay, this guy was a rival. This guy was secretly a devil. This guy was this. That guy was that. I get it. It was always ridiculous. Oh yeah, there's a boxing kangaroo and an alligator. An ancient Incan god and all this sort of stuff. But it made sense. Why? Because Tekken was urban fantasy. Tekken was, hidden. You know, there was always ridiculous stuff there, but no one knew about it in universe. The group of people that knew about the ancient Incan, Aztec, Mayan, whatever god that was running around purposely trying to kill best fighters in the world to gain their power. The amount of people that knew about that were minuscule. There was like 3 people that knew about it. You know, the people who knew that Kazuya was a devil and shot lasers out of his eyes, there were like 2 people that knew that. It came as a surprise to everyone else. And as far as the rest of the world knew, Kazuya was just an asshole that won a fighting tournament and then started doing some, illegal genetic testing on animals. That's all they knew. And then after that and then after he got defeated, they don't know what happened. He went away. Where'd he go? I don't know. And it pops up he was secretly running some other organization. That's all they knew. That's all the world knew. It was like Blade or The Crow. Yeah, there's a giant empire of vampires. But the humans don't know that. The humans don't know that, there's secretly a crow that raises people from the dead and brings them out to commit vengeance against the people that wronged them. The average human doesn't know that. Now, Tekken, we've had World War III happen in the universe, and now everyone knows about these ancient gods and destruction and aliens and all that sort of stuff. Well, now we're no longer urban fantasy. Now we're just straight up bullshit, you know? And that's kind of what wrestling has become, you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everyone knows, everyone knows kayfabe. Everyone knows, the F word. Everyone knows that. But it's so blatant now, and I just don't like that blatancy of it. Legalize pot. In the Tekken universe, yeah, that would probably solve a lot of problems. Because really, the Tekken universe at this point is just, I hate you, Dad. I hate you too. I hate you more. you know, back and forth between 700 people. Because somehow everyone is a secret child of Heihachi Mishima. But yeah, no. And same thing with a lot of things. It's the feature creep. Got to get bigger, better, more insane than the last time, and at a certain point, you cross into the realm of absurdity. There's a certain absurdity that takes place in wrestling. We watch this show, and we know it's not real. But for however many hours, we try to pretend it is. Jurassic Park. Everyone loves Jurassic Park. The inherent concept of Jurassic Park by itself is stupid. You can't grow dinosaurs. You can't grow dinosaurs. It's impossible. But for the concept of the movie to work, we accept that dinosaurs are being grown in a lab. Now, imagine if the next Jurassic Park movie happens and there's an alien invasion. The T Rex has been abducted by a UFO. We must now go into space and save the T Rex. We have now crossed the threshold into a completely different universe of ridiculous. We have crossed the line. We've gone from one type of stupid to 20 times more stupid. That's what wrestling has become. We crossed that line a while ago of, yeah, no, none of this makes sense now. And it really is borderline unwatchable to me. All the things that I was taught, all the things that I know these people were taught. I know this because I've worked with Anthony Bowens before. I've worked with Fala Bah before. I know these people. I know that they know the same things I know. I know that they were taught the same way I was taught. I know they are in the back of their heads going, yeah, yeah, this is stupid. This is ridiculous. Okay, fine, I'll get a paycheck. But yeah, this is dumb. I know. I know. So the primary purpose is to sell to the crowd. Yeah, 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 I know. I mean, that's why we pull back punches and go, look at this punch I'm going to throw. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. The person in the back row sees it, but you're never going to do this in a real fight. You're never going to. But yeah, no. It's just that sort of thing. It's just, you see these sort of things and it's like, what is with their footwork? Why are you turning away and doing that? No, no, why? That's not a hot tag. No. Oh God, why is the heel the underdog right now? No, no, heel shouldn't be the underdog. No, just the basics. So, you know, it is what it is. No, not like take me back to the 1970s. I'll have a blast just watching all the old wrestling. Yeah, not a fan of modern stuff. And that's, once again, piggybacking to the original claim from an hour ago. CM Punk is one of those few people that still feels real. still feels real. Not a gimmick. Not, okay, that guy's good at pretending to be angry. That guy's good at pretending. That guy's really a good actor. No, no, no. You believe CM Punk really is that much of a miserable asshole. Probably because he is, but goddamn, he's a miserable asshole that's entertaining to watch because of just how real he feels. Is it more the concept or the wrestling? Well, chicken or the egg situation here, I mean. Is it more the concept or the wrestling? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah. Do you know? I mean, I could probably tell you the like obviously wrestling on TV is going to be different than wrestling on an indie promotion where you only have to wrestle once a week or once a month, depending on the promotion. You know, there's a hard camera on TV, and you got to always sub the hard cam. Where in a gymnasium, hey, where's the biggest point of the crowd? There's where the most people are. Sell to them. It's a completely different situation. You know, so there is the fact that you have to change things in general. Like you'll notice, WWE, they don't tag in and out from the same side. No, the heels are on the right, but the baby faces are on the left. Why? They want to see the face as they're crawling for the tag. They're on the camera side. They're positioned specifically for the camera, not because it's uniform, not because that's the way you're trained, not because of any sort of situation. It's, oh, no, no, now we're on camera. Now we're doing this differently. Now we're doing something else. They want the zoom in, they want the slow mo, they want to see, anguish on your face, and they want to see, you know, everything else. There's a very specific criteria of things they're looking for. And considering, I've, you know, gone to training seminars with Mike Hollow, I've gone to training seminars with Matt Stryker, I've gone to training seminars with people who worked for WWE for years. Okay, they all tell you the same thing: fundamentals, footwork. That's what they look for. They want to see the basics. They want to see this. They want to see that. They don't care if you do a 300 corkscrew, whatever. That's not what they're looking for when they sign you. Then after they sign you, okay, cool, do the triple moonsault, whatever thing. They're looking for one thing to sign you and then tell you to do the opposite once they sign you. Chicken or the egg. It's a different style. It's a different thing specifically for a different TV audience. You got to think about it. In the 90s, we saw everything already. We saw a guy go through a flaming table. We saw a guy go through a glass, bus. We saw someone get thrown off a roof after a monster truck duel. We saw the most ridiculous stuff that already happened. There's nowhere to go. Fast and the Furious. They've literally driven a car to space. What's next? They will never top themselves. Realistically, if you want wrestling to go back to a more minimalistic time, a more simple time, a more 1970s time, wrestling has to die. It has to die, go away, and then come back. You know, how can I miss you if you don't leave? So then, after no one has had wrestling for a few years, comes back, people will pop for a goddamn hip toss because holy crap, it's back! I love this. Uh, so yeah, but WWE is not going to go away for 5 years. That's not going to happen. It never will. So it's never going to go back there. It's never going to. I mean, if I had $1 million, actually, if I had way more than $1 million, because it would be independent wrestling, and there's no money in independent wrestling. you make nothing until suddenly you're signed by AEW or WWE, and then you're making seven figures. uh, but if I had my own company, okay, cool. I'd make, a throwback era, you know, here's the rules. We're going to stick to these rules. There's going to be a time limit on the monitor, on the stage for everyone to see. You know, I'd really be back to an old school format. And that would work for about 200, 300 people. It would get the audience that I build into it. It's not going to work for anyone else. Thoughts on TNA returning? It's the cockroach company. They will never die. And I know, like, I used to be TNA's biggest fan back in the day. Every single time I try to get back into it, it's more ridiculous than it was before. It's like, oh, we now have a murder mystery. Someone has died. Someone's died. Okay. Murder has happened in the world of TNA. Why is this being filmed for everyone on television to see? Isn't this a situation for the cops? No? Okay. And so I turn away. And someone says, "Hey man, you gotta see TNA right now. TNA's doing great. TNA's doing this amazing stuff. It's doing this, that, the other thing." Okay, cool, let me take a look at it. And it's final deletion, whatever, and there's teleporting hologram drone battle with Power Ranger superpowers, and yeah. Okay, cool, fine. And then someone says, "Hey, come on, go back to go watch TNA again. Fala's on it." It's like, Okay, cool, yeah, Fala. I've worked with Fala. Fala's nice. I'm glad he's getting a paycheck. Yeah, let's see what happens." And so what I've realized about TNA now is that TNA is basically this experimental land where 1 month they're a horror movie, 1 month they're an action movie, 1 month they're a buddy romance movie, 1 month they're a Christmas movie, 1 month they're a black and white silent movie. You know, they have no identity of their own. They are just whatever they feel like. And okay, I understand the concept of trying different things. Your audience is never going to grow or shrink because you're the cockroach company that never dies. But you know, at one point in time, if I were to say, "Hey, I'm going to make a movie," the first 10 minutes of it is a slasher film. The next 10 minutes is a Hallmark movie. The next 10 minutes is uh, improv comedy. The next 10 minutes of it is a silent movie, so on and so forth. What are you? You're nothing. Yeah, a bunch of different people will like a different segment. 100 million people might like a different thing, but they'll only like one, let's see here, 1/12 of the entire movie, assuming it's a 2-hour movie. So, yay, I watched this movie. I liked 10 minutes of it, and then I wanted to gouge my eyes out for the next 110. That's TNA to me. It's like, okay, it just is what it is. Right now, I think there could be too many chefs in the kitchen WWE. Oh, 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 obviously. Obviously. They've got, you know, honestly, the backstage stuff in WWE has been far more interesting. Well, that's the problem with all of wrestling, though. The backstage stuff is far more interesting than what's on screen. But with Vince coming back and then Vince leaving again, then Vince coming back, then Vince leaving again, and who actually pushed out who, and what was a plot to, take over, and then That was really the far more interesting aspect of it. The actual product now is, it's serviceable, it's boring, it's plotting. I mean, I've only watched a grand total of 1 episode of Raw in the past forever, and that was this week, and, not making that mistake a second time, but, yeah, I mean, when you get to be a company that big, it's not a decision of one person or one group of people, it's what it is, and it becomes what appear to be a soulless corporate shell. It's okay. Here's what you do, and here's what happens, and we're guaranteed to make money, and that's the point. Nothing wrong with that. Just you know, you can feel the corporate product in it, and there are companies that can get away with that. Nintendo. I'm not gonna lie and say that Nintendo doesn't, favor the games that make the most money. I mean, there's a reason why they have Mario, 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 and Mario, because Mario makes money. Same thing with Zelda, same thing with Pokemon, same thing with Kirby, same thing with Fire Emblem, so on and so forth. But, every Mario game is generally really good quality. But even then, what was everyone's big complaint about the new Super Mario Brothers series? Man, these 4 games all really seem similar to each other, don't they? Which is why they made Super Mario Wonder, and everyone went, "Oh my god, it's such a breath of fresh air. Mario has something new again." Heck, I'm literally a walking billboard for Nintendo right now. So, I'm not immune to all of that. But overall, I still feel like Nintendo is generally a nice company. I mean, you always hear the stories about them, and it's like, okay, outside of their lawyers being, really, really good at, immediately stopping anything involving their intellectual property that they don't approve of. Outside of that, I mean, their CEO takes a pay cut instead of firing people. You know, they had a 10-month temp job that lasted 10 years. They were pro, gay marriage and just pro romance in the workplace, period. When Japan still finds that taboo as a whole. Yeah, Nintendo seems like a really nice place to work for overall. They seem to treat their people really nice. You know, I would not have a problem working for the big N. But not every single corporate concept is Nintendo. For every one Nintendo where it's like, oh yeah, we actually spent 10 years working on this. Heck, you know what? We scrapped a game entirely because it wasn't good enough. We didn't think it was worthy of our quality to our consumers. For every Nintendo, there's 1,000 other garbage things that are being popped out by EA or Ubisoft or Activision where it's just, yeah, yeah, here's a bunch of crap. We're sending it out yearly because it needs to sell. You know, even the Nintendo series that get crapped out year after year, like, you know, is Fire Emblem actually bad? Not really. Is it my cup of tea? No. Has it gotten to a situation where there's way too much excess on the non-battle portion? And it's now, basically a waifu simulator? With, like, hey, go and pet the head of your favorite captain in the war. Why is this in the game? Don't know, but it's still, the game fundamentally works. It runs properly, you know, it functions as a game. So yeah, I hope that answered your question about the too many chefs in the kitchen. If you can't tell by now, and this was the problem I always had whenever I made videos, was that, I ramble. I talk a lot. I have a point A to point B, and we take a very serpentine path to get there. And believe Rudy Charles mentioned something about legalizing pot up there, and I don't really think pot would be the thing that would, go woo to focus that into a straight line. I don't know if pot does that, but maybe Rudy Charles is thinking, I need to have some pot. Do have CBD gummies over there. They help me sleep though. Also, like I said, I'm a complete night owl. Hate it when I have to teach morning classes. Really, I do. Really hate teaching morning classes. And in case anyone's wondering why my throat is sounding off, instead of, besides the fact that I've been talking for 75 minutes straight, uh, is the fact that, once again, I'm pretty sure Thanksgiving, contracted COVID, so on and so forth. I feel generally fine, but, you know, everyone around me is apparently sick. So, I'm probably caught it and, boosted though and whatnot. So it's, not as terrible as the first time I had it. Like, I'm really not feeling anything at all. So I'm probably pretty much very asymptomatic. I'm going to test myself tomorrow just to be on the safe side because that would be 5 days. So now I'll be able to actually test myself and get an accurate result and see if I actually had to take off work this week or not. But yes, yes, you're such a good girl. I know. I know. I know. You never let me work. You never let me work. I know I'm not working right now, but you never let me work. I really should change the video title of this to Other Stuff and CM Punk. Because really, I'm just talking more about other stuff than I am CM Punk. Oh, yes, you're such a good kitty. Yes, you are such a good kitty. Let's see, is there anything else that happened in the world of wrestling? Don't know. Oh, well, let me actually work on this chapter. I see there's 0 people there, so let's just end the stream and say, thank you, everyone. This was actually quite nice for me to just talk into the void and just, have a response to people over here. It was actually a very nice thing to actually talk to people again, so, and I don't talk to people, but, it was very nice to talk to people again. So, thank you all very much. Yes, yes, I know you want pets. I know you want pets. Yes. So, thank you all very much. If I wind up rambling even more, I'll get myself annoyed because then I won't actually work on the book. I won't actually be able to do the thing that I can do now because it's finally quiet time. There's no distractions. I can actually work on something. So I'm gonna say bye now and thank you all, and you have a great day. It's 1:20 in the morning, so for all you insomniacs like me, go get some sleep. Thank you very much. You guys have a great day. Hopefully, I'll do these things again later. you know, your stream will stop immediately and you'll no longer be live. Okay, yes, let's click the end button.